this video, we're going to be looking at evaluating logarithmic expressions. So before we go into that, something you may have noticed in the past couple videos is that there are some special logarithm values, and those are logarithm of 1 and logarithm of b with base b. So if I take the logarithm of 1, it's always going to end up equaling 0. So no matter what my base b is, if I'm taking it to 1, it's always going to equal 0 because b to the 0 power, so any number raised to the 0 power is equal to 1. And then if I'm taking the logarithm of b with base b, that's also always going to, this is always going to equal to 1. And that's because b to the first power is equal to b. So for instance, if I had log base 12 of 12, that's going to equal to 1 because 12 to the first power is equal to 12. An example of this one would be log 3 of 1 is equal to 0 because 3 to the 0 power is equal to 1. So it doesn't matter what that b is. 3 could be 112. Doesn't matter if it's taking that log to 1, it's always 0. Okay, so now let's look at evaluating some logarithmic expressions. So something to help us on these is we're going to ask ourselves, what power of b gives me y? So let's look at number 1. Here I have log base 4 of 64, and I want to just set this equal to x. So what I'm looking at is what power of 4 gets me 64. So I have to think through that. What power of 4 equals 64? Well, 4 to the first power is 4, so it's not that. 4 squared, I get 16, so it's not that. However, 4 cubed gets me 64. So that means the answer here is x is equal to 3. Let's look at the next one. Here, log base 5 is 0.2. I'm going to set this equal to x. So here I'm asking myself, what power of 5 is equal to 0.2? Okay, so this time I'm getting a number that's less than 5. So I know it's not going to be 1 or above because 5 to the first power gives me 5. 5 squared gives me 25. That's getting me further away from 0.2. It's not to the 0 power because that's 1. So I'm looking at negative exponents here. And I see if I take 5 to the negative first power, that's the same thing as 1/5. And if I do 1 divided by 5, that gets me 0.2. So the answer here is x is equal to negative 1. Okay, here I have log base of 1/5 of 125. I'm going to set that equal to x. So here my question I'm asking is, what power of b, which is 1/5, gets me y, which is 125? Well, here I'm getting a bigger number, so it's 125. If I square this, I get 1/25, and so on. So I know this is also going to be a negative. So I can kind of think through what power of 5 gets me 125. Well, I know that's 3. But since this is 1/5, that means this needs to be negative 3. And the reason that's the case is because 1/5 to the negative third power, same thing as 1 over 5 to negative 3. Well, to make this exponent positive, I would bring it to the top. And that gets me the 125. Okay, and then the last one I have log base 36 of 6. I'm setting that equal to x. So here again, I'm asking myself, what power of b, so 36, is equal to y, which is 6? So what power of 36 gets me 6? Well, I know that 6 squared gets me 36, so that means that x here is just going to equal to the 1/2. Because I know the square root of 36 gets me 6.